Hello, I'm Dr. Jacinta Calzada Marone. I'm a special education coordinator for a charter school in Washington, D.C. Um, I have been in non-instructional roles for about, I want to say 4 years now. And so basically being in the working in a non-instructional capacity, I try to find ways to streamline and make things easier and more efficient for everyone while remaining in compliance. Um, One thing I found that my district does is they heavily use Google but using the Google Suite and Google Classroom and Google Drive. And what I found is things kind of get lost amongst each other and sharing and files and people making copies. And basically when trying to remain in compliance with students, it's very difficult to navigate and supply information on demand. So a program that I have been researching and we will be using as a district this upcoming school year is called Education Modified. This is just an introduction video for Education Modified, but I will go through the program as well.
Welcome to Education Modified, where our mission is to bring the IEP to life. Special education is difficult to coordinate, and often there are obstacles to collaboration and communication. EdMod was built by former special educators to address these obstacles and challenges teachers face in their classrooms. EdMod is easy to implement, automatically syncing courses and rosters through seamless LMS integrations. The Learning Biography is a one-stop shop for everything a teacher needs to access about a child's learning needs, all pulled automatically from the IEP. This includes the specific diagnoses, testing accommodations, all the key documents and forms related to the student, and a team board for real-time collaboration, all in one place. Every teacher knows exactly where to go to find what they need, and this passes on from year to year, so teachers don't have to start from scratch or reinvent the wheel. The Strategies tab includes the research-based strategies tagged to each student and travel with the student year after year. Organized by skill gap, teachers can rate the effectiveness of each strategy and access a comprehensive toolkit to implement strategies in the classroom with fidelity. Lastly, in the Goals tab, every teacher can access a student's learning goals, data collection tools, and evidence for each goal, all in one place. Teachers can easily add data points over time and access an automatic progress monitoring graph for every goal. Thanks for watching. If you'd like more information or you'd like a personalized demonstration of the product, please visit us at www.educationmodified.com.
So while my school does, the District of Columbia actually utilizes Easy IEP, which is a special education data system. While we use Easy IEP to create IEPs and upload documents for compliance, it's not a system that everyone has access to. So just the special education department has access to Easy IEP. Therefore, students with 504s, school counselor, social worker, the SST coordinator, who is our student support coordinator, and our principal, no one has access to Easy IEP but the special education department. So that's where we found challenges in streamlining and providing documentation and compliance for all of our special programs. And the special programs at my particular school include students with individualized education programs and plans, students who have a 504, students who are considered English language learners, and there's one more. Students who are going through our multi-tiered system of supports process with our SST coordinator. So this is Education Modified, and basically how it works is this is teacher facing. So this would be the students I have access to. It can be broken down by classes, as you can see. So Science 101, Social Studies 101, or it can be broken down by students. So students with 504s and so on. When you go to my students, I can filter students based on students who have students who are within the special programs that are provided. So for example, all students, including general education students, students with IEPs, students with 504s, and so on. Again, this is the demo site. So this is not how our school has students categorized. So if I click on students with IEPs, all of the students with IEPs will show up. I can click into, so I'll pick Penelope. And then this is just a breakdown of all the information a teacher needs to know. And so this is any teacher working with the student. I find this to be extremely helpful because every year our teachers, our special education teachers, are tasked with creating learning profiles or IEPs at a glance. This is an IEP at a glance for a student at our school. While our IEPs at a glance are very user-friendly, it doesn't give the whole picture, the whole story for a student. Meanwhile, Education Modified does provide detailed information for each student. So this is the full snapshot of a student. This information here, you can actually edit, and all of the information you put here is adjustable by the teacher responsible for the group. So in this case, it would be the special education case managers at my school. Again, learning needs here, you can also edit that information and it will tell you if the student has a behavior plan. Some students, although they have an IEP, they may also have a 504. They could also be receiving RTI through PBIS, which is Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. You can choose classifications for students, and it includes every single classification that you can think of. Let me go back. Some other areas within the profile include accommodations. So the accommodations are here for students, and again, the case manager would be able to upload the accommodations just by editing and entering them here. It's a single click to the left, checkbox. And then you can also upload documents. For my particular school, we wouldn't upload the full IEP again for confidentiality reasons. So we would upload the IEP at a glance that we showed you. There's some other information that I'm going to show you that we would actually upload here as well. Our school also uses maps, so we would upload map scores for students. Trying to think what else we could upload here. We do parent input forms and dedicated aid input forms and teacher input forms that we would upload into this space. Let me pull one up to show for an example. So this is a teacher input form that we would gather information from probably most likely the general education teacher of a student. Because my case managers flex across grade levels, this would be the perfect way to get information from the teacher on the spot. So basically we collect the email, the student's name, the teacher's name, and then it goes down into describing the strengths of the student related to standards, and also some areas of concerns or needs for the student for support. Again, we also collect information around functional performance, and if the student's behavior interferes with the learning of themselves or their peers. Again, classroom accommodations that teachers may be implementing. This form is also utilized when we collect information for a student who has been referred for evaluation. So we collect existing data asking for this information. So when teachers share the accommodations or the modifications and differentiation that they utilize to support the student, this information is very helpful. So again, that information would be uploaded here. And basically, I think some of these are just like PDFs. And so the teacher would be able to open the PDF that was downloaded and the information is there. So there's a goals tab here. I don't know how many of our classmates were in our course, our internship course last semester, EDAM, I think it's 717. I spoke a lot about progress monitoring and some of the concerns I had around progress monitoring with it not being done with fidelity at my campus. So this is another way for us to just monitor progress monitoring across the school. Our district is going to start using standards-based grading. So having goals and being able to progress monitor goals towards the Common Core standards is really important. And so this will be not only a section that we utilize for students with IEPs, and another area we'll be using is for students who are in the MTSS process or receiving services through the MTSS process. So the general education population will also have this area where teachers will be able to progress monitor. What I like about it is you can actually print a report out based on each goal, and it shows the trend of the progress the student has made. Team board, this is just some additional information, who's on the actual team, whoever's on the actual team of this student can input information here. You can post an update here and communicate to other teachers about the student. So for example, I can say for MTSS, so a student who I received a referral through the MTSS process, I would probably update information here regarding that, or regarding things that we will need to collect from teachers in order to support data in a referral. I really enjoy the strategy section of this. So basically, there are strategies for pretty much anything here. So for example, executive functioning, if a student is struggling with executive functioning, some strategies are here. And then basically how to use those strategies and provide support to the student in the area of executive functioning. I also like, let me see, this area here with classifications. So students are classified every day. There's a disability classification for a student, but teachers don't often understand what the disability or classification entails. So what I like about this program is it shares additional information about the classification, and it's an overview of the disability category. And so basically it shares skill gaps, information detailed from the DSM-5, what teachers should look for a student with ADHD. So type 1 being inattention, type 2 being hyperactive or impulsive, and then type 3, which is a combination of 1 and 2, including inattention and hyperactivity. Things that teachers can say, so using positive energy towards this would be great. So using positive energy towards turning and talking with your classmate would be great. And then it provides additional information for teachers, which was one of the selling points for my school. I can show you another one, autism spectrum disorder. So just going through, sharing what the skill gaps are, what teachers should look for a student who has autism spectrum disorder. Here's some additional information. So let me go back. I clicked on here. These are selectable. So I clicked on evidence-based practices for students with autism. And then it just goes through a plethora of just different evidence-based practices for students with disabilities. And so let's pick one. So self-management. And then it goes through some additional information on self-management for students with disability, with autism spectrum disorder. Really neat tool. There's additional information from Education Modified that we don't necessarily have at our school, but I think it is a really great tool. And I personally would like to learn more about it. So if you come up here at the top, it says check out our distance learning resources and click on that. And there's additional information here. The website is full of information, but the particular thing I was interested in learning more about is their formative cognitive assessment. So it's an online assessment of executive functioning of executive functions with complex reasoning and memory to support IEP planning. And this is a pretty cool website too. And it basically gives you a learning profile and actions for the students to support them. And it's additional information for their IEP. So this is something that I'm really interested in, just seeing how it works and who can actually administer the assessment and score the results for it to be added to an IEP. When you go back to Education Modified's website and you click on resources and tools, when you come down here, there's tools for a special education director or myself as a coordinator, and just IEP meeting guides, which I like the virtual aspect because all of my IEP meetings have been virtual since March. And I intend on keeping virtual IEP meetings because they've actually been more convenient and efficient for our team and our parents. It includes some best practices, virtual accommodations for co-taught classroom, IEP meeting guide, the Andrew F basics for districts, additional information on classification, then some data collection tools, which I thought this was pretty awesome too. I haven't explored into this, so I'm going to actually explore with you all. So I'm going to work on running record. So it's just a PDF of running record template for students and teachers and students. So yeah, this is the tool that we'll be utilizing this upcoming school year. I find it to be pretty awesome.